What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Colgar Minecraft. Today I have another mod pack review for you. In this one I'm reviewing the 1.18 version of Better Minecraft. Now for those that are unfamiliar with how I do reviews, essentially I give each mod pack a score out of 20. How do I get to 20? Well, I base those scores off of 4 pillars. The first pillar is adventure. Now this could be anything from cool passive buildings that don't really serve a purpose but kind of add to the ambiance of the world, to amazing dungeons that you can explore, cool villages, or even just new exciting biomes, cool animals. The second pillar is kind of the cornerstone of Minecraft. I mean, it's in the name. It's mining. Now this doesn't necessarily mean the act of mining, but more so the experience that you get mining in this world. I want to make sure I share whether spelunking is a fun and new experience or just kind of the same old thing that you get in regular Minecraft. Third is creative. Now this is kind of the other cornerstone of Minecraft. You want to be able to take all of those blocks that you get and make cool, amazing structures. So I want to go over any new additions that the mod pack brings, whether it be better interior decoration, cool looking blocks, or even just blocks that make your buildings look a little bit more realistic. Lastly is combat. Is the combat in each mod pack the same as regular Minecraft? Or are you getting a different experience through new armor, new weapons, boss mobs, things like that? Now obviously features of certain mod packs can kind of blend together. Just because I highlight something in adventure doesn't mean that it wouldn't go into mining or combat. So keep that in mind as I make the scores. Now these videos take quite a bit of time to make, so before we get into it, I would appreciate if you guys could scroll down and double check that you've clicked that subscribe button. It's free, it helps out the channel, and you can always unsubscribe later if you don't like the content. Let's get into it. Alright, so first up is adventure. Now immediately upon loading in, I saw a bunch of impressive structures that were, I think, a lighthouse. There was a coliseum, which was amazing. But then I saw something that I didn't like. I saw a starship up in the sky. Now don't get me wrong, I like creativity, especially of dungeons and things like that. New things to explore, that's always nice. When I'm thinking of a mod pack, I want it to be thematic. I don't want it to be all over the place, and that's what this mod pack seems to be. It's got pretty much everything you need in terms of dungeon exploration. It's just kind of all over the place. I came across a nicely crafted windmill. Didn't really get to explore a lot of this stuff. I didn't want to take the time to get geared up and go through and explore this, so part of this is me running around before I have gear, and another part is me just flying around in spectator view. As you can see, I went and explored the spaceships. I explored this Zeppelin that I found. I explored this amazing tower building dungeon structure that I found out in the woods. If you're looking for adventure, this mod pack's got something for you. I just wish it was all kind of on theme. There's definitely a lot of passive structures out in the wild, just wells and things like that. And what I really enjoy is that you can just find random villager houses out in the wild. Not like a full village, just like a house where somebody's living. You'll also find pirate ships. You can find wrecks where there's a villager sitting on an abandoned island. Time I also went in the Nether. That was one of the big asks from the last video. And there was actually some stuff in the Nether too. Definitely new biomes to explore in both the Nether and the overworld, with a lot of cool different lighting, and there's glow sticks and things like that. It was honestly, this mod pack's got pretty much everything you need from adventure. I just wish it was a little bit more thematic. Because of that, I give this a 4.1 out of 5. Alright, so let's get into mining. So I was flying around in spectator mode trying to find underground dungeons, and I was looking for new ores and didn't seem to come across any. So I went to the creative page, and there seems to only be new ores in the Nether and the End. And to be honest, there weren't that many of them. And pairing it with the fact that I found very few underground dungeons, and the fact that the caves were extremely similar to vanilla, I'm pretty sure they are the same. Honestly, the review of the mining section is really short because there's not really much to review. So because of that, I feel like I have to give it a low score. I'm going to go with a 1.5 out of 5. Alright, so now we get into creative, and this is where I think Better Minecraft does a really good job. Now, it doesn't quite have as many pages as Enigmatica did. It's 79 compared to 97 or something like that. But there are a lot of unique things in this mod pack that I think are pretty cool. So firstly, you can make stairs out of pretty much anything in this mod pack, which is nice if you like a certain texture or color. But on top of that, it also adds a bunch of different building opportunities. There's shelves, there's kitchen counters, there's roofing. It's really got it all in terms of interior design. Also, You got a bunch of different opportunities for things to like place on tables. I came across this in that starship that I first explored at the beginning, and there's all these different like, quote unquote player heads, but they're designed a certain way to make it look like, you know, food and things you can put on tables. There's a lot of new creative blocks and they all look pretty cool, and there's a lot of different lighting options too, which is always nice. There seems to be limited amounts of those in other mod packs. So based on the fact that there's quite a few blocks less than Enigmatica, but there's still a lot of great new opportunities for design, I'm going to give Better Minecraft a 4.2 out of 5 for creative. Okay, so now we're into combat, and this is something that Better Minecraft does pretty well. I didn't come across any named bosses per se. That doesn't mean that they don't exist, but there are definitely a lot harder mobs with better armor that are more packed into a combat area, like a dungeon. And so it definitely adds a unique aspect to the fighting in this mod pack. On top of that, there is a bunch of different armor opportunities, which is weird to me because there's not a lot of new ores except for the end. So I'm not quite sure how you make these armors, but either way, they're available, as you can see in this picture, and a lot of them look pretty cool. Now, while I was going around, I was just testing out some of the difficulties of the mobs, and I grabbed one of the best swords I could find from creative, and it wasn't really doing that much. So the combat's actually going to be pretty difficult for someone who's not super geared. On top of that, when I first came in and I was going by that windmill, I was mobbed by about 50 zombie villagers that were super fast and didn't die in sunlight. So they just chased me until I ended up running out of food and stamina and died. There didn't seem to be any new forms of combat, as in there's no magic or new weapons that I was able to find, but the difficulty in terms of quantity and better armor from these mobs will definitely make combat more fun if you're into that kind of thing. So based on the fact that it's kind of hard to scale up, but that the combat ends up being really great at the end, I'm going to give Better Minecraft a score of 4 out of 5 for combat. There you guys have it. That's my review of Better Minecraft. It's not a perfect system, I'm still working on it, but hopefully through this review you guys were able to get a glimpse as to what you should expect from Better Minecraft. After totaling up the scores, Better Minecraft gets a 13.8 out of 20, which honestly isn't that bad. If it wasn't for the mining dragging it down, it does really great in adventure, combat, and creative, so it's definitely a mod pack to check out if you enjoy those type of things. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.